Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to LRGA Curves. Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button on your way in. Today, we will be talking about, can you hear me okay? I hope so. Today, what is this? Okay. Whew. Class is already steaming, you guys. Because I had to drink an energy drink so I could stay up with y'all. Okay. So, today, oh, sorry, my nose ring. Do I have a nose ring? And it just came out. Sorry. Just a nose ring. Right. So, thank you for tuning in to LRGA Curves today. I hope that you had a fabulous hump day. What day is it? Hump day. What day is it? Hump day. And thank you for popping in with me today on LRGA Curves. You know what? Today we are going to talk about, let's chat. Let's chat about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the finale of Below Deck. You want to talk about it? You want to chat about it? You want to have a little chat? Because we're going to have a little chat, okay? We're going to start with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Copyright disclaimer with all of these images. I don't know them. I'm using them for commentary purposes and whatnot. So, okay. Did you guys see the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? It picks up with them doing flashbacks to everybody, to the ladies touching tongues in the jacuzzi. And then the next morning, they're getting up groggy and going off into 3 separate groups, okay? So we have Lisa and Heather are going on some horses. They can either gallop or canter. And then Jenny Whitney are going on some ATVs. And then Mary, Meridith, and Jenny are going out to a spa day. Now, while the ladies pictured here, Jen, Whitney, and Heather and Lisa, while they're out gallivanting in their respective areas, doing their activities, what they're really doing is getting their stories together on how they're going to bring down Meridith for being Mary's friend. And let's go through this, okay? So we have Jen and Whitney conspiring against Meridith being Mary's friend. Everything was wrong with Meridith. And then all of a sudden, and now she's with Mary. It was just bizarre. And then we had simultaneously Lisa and Heather pretending to be Meridith's friend and accusing her of faking her father's memorial, you guys. Do you believe it? That she was faking her father's memorial? No way. No way. I don't think so. Anyway, but if you remember, just last week, they denied to Meridith's face that any of them had speculated or said that she lied about her father's memorial being the same day that the 16 letters of the alphabet came to pick up Jen from in front of Heather's spot. Now, so they're all talking about Meridith and Mary over there. So then we have Jenny at the spa with Mary and Meridith, and Mary is hilarious. She said, I never miss a spa day, even if it has to be with Jenny, because you know, Mary and Jenny don't see eye to eye. So they're all getting their massages. And of course, Jenny can't leave well enough alone. Well, we need to call her Fire Jenny. Fire Jenny can't leave well enough alone and has to start judging Mary for how she gets her massage in clothes. Some people are just modest like that. I can't see her as the pastor, the first lady of the church. Really, she seems really modest and proper anyway. Why would she get naked in front of you ladies? So you could talk about that too, you know? So Then at the spa, it was a beautiful spa, and all the ladies walked down to this area that they had set up for them to, further relax and enjoy the activity of spa day. And the ladies are talking, and Jenny had a chance to talk to Meredith about spilling the beans to Jen that Meredith had called investigators on her to investigate who was sending threatening texts to her son, remember? And so Jen was like, oh, I didn't do that to stir the pot. And Meredith is like, well, why did you do it? Because you didn't do it because you were being a friend to me. That's not what friends do. And so Jen was like very humble and was like, oh, I'll never do that again. And I'm so sorry. And from now on, I'll know my place, kind of thing. And then Meredith said, oh, how's your husband? And to Jenny, to Fire Jenny. And Fire Jenny said, oh, Dewey still doesn't want to go to the counselor that you suggested to us for marital counseling. He just doesn't want to go. And so then all of a sudden, Jenny asks Mary Cosby, how has she talked to her husband? And she's like, yeah, I did. And so then they said, Jenny says, awesome. And then Jenny was like, well, what'd they say? And Meredith said, that side of my life, I'm not comfortable talking to you about. Like, I don't even know you like that. And then it was awkward because Jenny felt like she could ride on the energy of Meredith's question to her to have the right to ask Mary about her personal life. And Mary was like, oh, these bitches are crying. It's time for me to get up and go. Because, Mary is good for leaving. And I guess Jenny called it because she had said Mary left her clothes on during the massage so she could make a quick escape like she usually does, right? So anyway, all the groups come back to the house. So Jen and Whitney come back from doing the ATV, and they're all dirty in the face and looking whatnot. And if you notice, Whitney's looking very like her daddy these days. And then after everybody returns from everything, they all get dressed for dinner. And the dinner is a Cinco de Mayo hosted by Jen Shawshank, because in honor of Mary Cosby describing her as a Mexican thug that sells drugs, meaning the cartel. So she described her as that. And so Jen was making lemons out of lemonade. She was making tacos out of carne asada. And she decided to host a Cinco de Mayo party. And everybody got dressed up, and they all went down and sat down. They wanted to do a samba line down to the dinner where the mariachi band was playing. And Jen looked stunning. And so did Mary, and so did Meredith, and so did the other ladies. So anyway, so Mary, she runs cold. And she said, oh, I am cold. I'm going to go get a jacket or a blanket or something. And Whitney, who hasn't said nothing nice to Mary since she got there, says, oh, can you bring me one too? And Mary says, probably not. So she gets up and leaves and goes and gets her thing. So then while she's gone, Whitney says in her confession also, she's like, oh, woman of service. You're supposed to be a woman of service. Thanks a lot. Yeah, woman of service doesn't mean I'm your servant, Whitney. Freaking. Anyway, the entitlement. You guys treat Mary like crap and then want her to go run for you guys all the time. Whatever, and whatever, in my opinion. Okay. So then while Mary is gone, as planned, the Aryan cousins, Heather and Whitney, and Fire Jenny, and Eight-Faced Lisa all decide to go in on Meredith for supporting Mary. And they do this by Jenny bringing up the fact that she feels like Mary's apology was fake to her. And that cues the other ladies, Eight-Faced Lisa and the Aryan cousins right there, Heather and Whitney, that cues them to be like, well, Meridith, how can you be around Mary if she's so mean? And she's like, I mean, this whole week. Oh no! And then Heather's like, I mean, this whole weekend she's been a buzzkill. Now, you guys, have you been looking at this show? This has been the funnest weekend that we've seen Mary ever. Okay, she is coming off like a real girl's girl, knowing how to have fun without getting sloshed, and still have a good time, putting differences aside and everything. I think she's been having fun. But these ninnies, in their attempt to further freaking, I don't know, they like are so anti Mary Cosby that her silence is as much of a problem as her words. Are you with me? Has anybody ever annoyed you that bad where their silence and their words both annoyed you equally? Like whether they were quiet or whether they said something, it annoyed you, Well, in this case, that's what happened. So what can we learn from watching the ladies conspire on Mary and Meridith constantly? Like, I mean, I wanted us to have a chat about it. I'm not sure if anybody's around in the chat to talk about it. But what is it that we can learn from watching non-melanated ladies sit around and literally conspire to not only have the melanated lady alienated without any support, but also, oh my God, Prosperity Thick Girl 40's in the house. I'm so blessed. OMG, OMG. What's going down, lady? What is happening? Wait, I should have been set up because I was hoping you'd stop by. Yeah, that's right. Prosperity Thick Girl 40's in the hizzle for shizzle. My nizzle. What's good? You know what? We're in here talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And I was to the part where the ladies are in the dinner and Fired Jenny is doing her performative act after already conspiring with the other ladies against Mary and freaking Meridith. You know what I mean? So I was just wondering, is there anything that we can learn from these hookers? I don't know. But I loved this scene. This personally was my favorite scene. On top of Mary showing us that she can be a girl's girl, she showed us that she can go toe to toe with these hoes, okay? Because they came for her and she was ready with check in hand. They thought they were going to come for her ankles, and like the mighty soldier, warrior, princess she is, the mighty prayer warrior she is, she rose above her enemies that were her footstool in that moment, and they couldn't stand it. Like I said, because they annoy her, she annoys them whether she's saying anything or not. So then we have Heather, who is one of the Aryan cousins, because Heather and Whitney are the Aryan cousins. That's what I like to call them, in my opinion, the Aryan cousins. The way they just are relentless on this coming for Mary for no reason. I mean, it's really unwarranted if you really think about it, because like I keep on saying, all these hoes need to just be thanking Mary M. Cosby for the fact that she allowed them to use her family story as a platform for this entire franchise, because nobody was interested in Salt Lake City. Nobody was interested in snowflakes in Salt Lake City. Not one person was interested. Not one person would have watched Whitney and Heather and Lisa Barlow. Not one person would have tuned into this show had it not been for Mary M. Cosby. But no, all these hoes, they all rallied around fired Jenny Wynn and her 42 racist Facebook posts later ass. They all rallied behind her. Well, we don't know how we can exist with you, Mary, if you're not going to be friends and nice to our friend Jenny Wynn. If you're not going to be nice to our friend who they just met 5 minutes ago. So they know Mary and only have a job because of Mary's freaking and only have a job because of Mary's freaking life at all, right? That's the only reason they even have a job is because of Mary's life at all. Yet these hoes have the audacity to keep talking about her granddaddy husband and to keep talking about why does everybody support Mary and to keep talking about she has a church and she knows how to pray and to keep talking about everything she says gets picked apart and to be mad that she matches their bitterness when they come to her. If you notice, Mary only responds, people. Mary doesn't come in here and start with these people. She sits all back of the room style, people. She is not coming in here messing with the people. She doesn't do that. She doesn't do that. So after they had all of that go on, all of a sudden, freaking Mary Cosby tells Jenny Wynn, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't have anything for you. You're not going to get anything from me. You should stop trying. We don't have anything to talk about. And that's period. And that's fine. I think she's entitled to say that. But no, because it was words coming out of Mary Cosby's mouth, it was an issue. Any other time, we need to talk about it, Mary. Why are you walking away? We need to talk about it, Mary. Why are you walking away? And then she stays and tells y'all what she's thinking. And now it's, why are you saying that, Mary? Why are you saying that, Mary? Why? You're so evil. You speak words. You know how to describe your feelings adequately, effectively, bluntly, to the point, without any rickamaraca. We know exactly what the heck you just meant. You don't like me. We know, but it's a problem still. They are ridiculous with that. Anyway, so Jen Shawshank ends up getting freaking really worked up because Lisa, Eight-Face Barlow, decided to stick up for fired Jenny Wynn against Meridith against Mary. It's this weird, like, sticky, gooey thing. Whatever Mary is associated with by proxy, it's an issue. But also, Meridith and Lisa are having issues because Lisa crazy and doesn't know how to be a friend, in my opinion. She's not a very good friend, but wants you to be a very good friend. And then sets things up to help people be mad at you for not being her version of a good friend, and orchestrates all this stuff behind the scenes while smiling in your face, also that she can try to blame you for some ish that you had nothing to do with. Case in point, at the dinner, she's taking up for fired Jenny Wynn, that Mary doesn't like her, and she tells to Meridith, oh, I don't want her to be hurt, and I don't want her to be hurt, and I don't want the Aryan cousins hurt, and I don't want Jenny Wynn hurt, and I don't want me hurt, and I don't want Jen Shaw hurt, and I don't want you hurt, and it's all Mary's fault. Mary's the one that's hurting everybody, and you don't say anything to her, and it's so horrible because you need to speak up. Because you're the only one that's talking to her. And like we said, she doesn't need to have anybody in her corner. So you need to speak against her because we don't like her. And yeah, we want you to do what we want you to do, Meridith. And because Lisa did that, Jen Shawshank was like, why are you sticking up for Jenny Wynn? You never staked up for me. You didn't even call me after the feds came, after 16 letters of the alphabet came, Lisa. Eight-faced Barlow. You didn't even call me. What kind of friend are you? But here you are sticking up for her? You're sticking up for 42 racist Facebook posts Jenny Wynn? But you're not sticking up for 16-letter of the alphabet Jenny Shaw? Really, Lisa? What kind of friend are you? Oh my gosh. So, freaking Jen Shawshank had to use the bathroom. She gets up and walks away. In the meantime, somehow out of all of that confusion, Lisa Eight-Face Barlow is focused enough to do the task, which they all practiced, which was to blame Mary and try to alienate her. She was focused enough to bring it all back around to Mary. You know, it's your fault. You're so fake, Mary. Your church is fake. You're fake. You're fake. To which Mary Cosby says, you need to work on yourself, hon, because you eat candy for breakfast and Taco Bell for all your meals. You and your whole family need some nutrients. And you eat fake food. So how can you even possibly be real? How can you even possibly be real and trying to challenge me on who I am when you ingest fakeness, which makes you fake because you are what you eat? Everybody knows the rule. Oh my goodness. You know what happened after that? Of course, we know that the whole reason Lisa Eight-Face Barlow invited Cameron, rest in peace, to her thing where she invited Meridith, but not Mary, to the same event that she could have, was also she could get this narrative of this mortgage stuff going with the church rumors out there onto the storyline, right? So she ends up saying, oh, Mary, you're so fake. And that's why people mortgage their $300,000 mortgage and to give you all the money for your church. And so there, I said it. But she had already said it by bringing that fool on the show. She had already said it by bringing it up to Whitney. She had already said it when she talked to Heather about it. She had already said it all these other times. So for her to act like I finally said it, no, Eight-Face, you've been said it. Okay? Yeah, right? Freaking. So then all of a sudden, Heather's not getting enough attention because her carbs are wearing off, right? So she's like, you know, I got to say something to stay awake, right? So Heather's like, well, you know, Mary, we don't know how we're going to exist with you not being nice. And I really, you know, and her husband helped pay for the trip. And Mary, rightfully so, says, what's her husband have to do with this whole conversation? What's her husband have to do with this when you ain't got one and all our husbands pitched in? Tell me what her husband has to do with this conversation. And flustered ass Heather is like, oh, are you under the impression that I don't have a husband? Who's your husband, Mary? Your step granddaddy, that's who. And then she had the smirk on her face too, like, ooh, I finally said it. So they were all just waiting to say all this venomous shit to Mary. After they all chastised Jen Shawshank last season for saying the stuff to Mary, now that 16 letters of the alphabet came for her, now everything's kumbaya over there. Now who they need is freaking Mary Cosby. You know, I've been saying this particular episode is not going to age well, especially in the wake of fired Jen Wynn. Okay? It's going to age as well as freaking Munster cheese on a windowsill. I don't know. I don't know if that ages well. I don't know. It sounds stinky and it sounds like it shouldn't be something that's happening. But the blind, loyal, screaming at the Black lady support of this racist lady's text, the Facebook posts, and they were like, "We can't be friends. How are we?" They were trying to ice Mary out, y'all. Did you notice that? They were attempting in that moment, in their unification around fired racist Jenny Wynn, around her, they all rallied around her and were like, "We're with Jenny Wynn, Mary, Lady of God. You're a lady of God. And we don't think you act very nice to us. You talk down to us, Mary. You talk to us the way we talk to you, Mary. Mary, you talk exactly to us the way that we talk to you. If that's a complete issue, Mary, because you're Black. That's what it is, Mary. I'm just going to say what I need to say. It's because you're Black, Mary. And you know, you Black people should know your place and know when to talk and when not to talk. And this is when not to talk, Mary. Because we're the only ones that get to talk to you crazy, and you can't talk back to us crazy, because if you talk to us crazy, then that's an issue. But if we talk to you crazy, then you're just supposed to sit there and take it. And do not walk away either. You just sit there and take it. That's how they act. It's crazy to watch. As a freaking viewer, I'm like, is anybody else seeing this shit? And of course, in my house, they are, because I'm talking over the screen the whole freaking time. I mean, if you go back and look at the number of episodes, these freaking Aryan cousins and Eight-Faced Lisas and Jenny Wynn's were freaking sitting around conspiring on Mary and Cosby, it's frightening and it's sickening. It really is. And a part of me cannot wait until, I'm going to say it, until this one right here, until Whitney's husband's business, who everybody already said is a Ponzi scheme. Everybody already reported it, that it's a Ponzi scheme. And it might be a Ponzi scheme allegedly. Perhaps, in my opinion, I don't know. Allegedly, it's a Ponzi scheme. But when that comes out, and that all this money she supposedly spent on her freaking rebranding of the thing was just to hide the money that supposedly is supposed to come up for the people that are suing her husband's business, in my opinion, allegedly, it might be happening. I don't know. Who knows? But I know that they're not taking notes. They're not taking the right notes. These ladies are not taking the right notes. Her tagline is, if you come for me, I send Jesus after you. In their own words, Jen Shaw came for her last season, and this season, 16 letters of the alphabet came. This season, Jenny Wynn came for her and ended up fired and practically canceled. Although she'll probably get a job on some freaking conservative pundit show or something like that. Who knows what'll happen. But so far, her God is a mighty God, and he does great works to protect his daughter, Mary M. Cosby. These ladies need to take better notes, because they just keep on attacking her for literally no reason. It's like she'll literally be sitting there and saying nothing, and they're like, she's such a buzzkill. Oh my God, do you see her? She's breathing. Oh my God, I did see her. Did you see? She blinks. Oh my God. Why does Meridith even talk to her? They're so crazy. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. So then Jen Shaw comes back to the table. And again, Meridith is put on the hot seat about her support for Mary. This is like the 3rd or 15th time at the dinner that why Mary and Meridith are friends is a problem to these ladies is bringing up. I don't know. It's late. I know it's late and I know you're weary. Okay. And I know that Mary is glad that she didn't go talk to these biddies at the freaking reunion, because they just keep going and going and going with these freaking gossip and innuendo. It's like, come to me with some facts. Hire a PI the way that freaking Meredith did before you come over here trying to ruin my livelihood and my life. Why don't you even do that much due diligence? No, you're just going to go get a disgruntled person from her church. That's what she said, you guys. She said the person didn't even like her and he was from her church and came in, was ready to like diminish her name. And that's what happened. And these ladies they relished that information about her. They could not wait to find something wrong with Mary M. Cosby. Now, mind you, one of the ladies I'm talking about is the Aryan cousin freaking Whitney Rose, who Mary was her only ally last year when her drug recovering daddy was her storyline, and he needed to get sober enough for her to have him film with her for the whole season. So she worked him going into Mary's church with her, where it looked like he was really touched by the Spirit and everything, you guys. But this season, Whitney made it her business and even announced early on in the season that she was going to do everything to get Mary. So here we come with freaking eight-faced Lisa Barlow's meltdown that everybody's been hearing about, where her mic was hot. Yeah, it was hot because she wanted it hot. She was probably in the other room talking in it like this the whole time. She's like, that Meredith, no matter what Mary does, Meredith has her back, and that's what I want from my friendship with Meredith, is for her to have my back. But mind you, we've already established that Lisa has not been a good friend of Meredith at all, and was called on the carpet about it last season also. So while Lisa is having an on-purpose hot mic moment, in my opinion, Whitney Rose and Heather, the Aryan cousins, are again starting up the whole thing that Meredith's dad's memorial was a lie, but saying that Lisa was the one that said it, when these two Aryan cousins are the ones that did it, you guys. Anyway, that's it. Because Meredith ends up storming away, of course, stop talking about my family. Like this whole trip to Zion, he's been like, leave my family out of your mouth. And here is some more of freaking Lisa's hot mic. Meredith can go F herself, because I'm not an effing whore, and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and her dumb effing family that poses. Her and her dumb effing family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Oh yeah, because you can't. Because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes. Huh. That's how Lisa Barlow, Eight Faces, talks to me. She's like, huh. Because your husband changes jobs. And then Whitney, Aryan Rose's cousin, says, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but we think you're lying about your dead dad's memorial. And we're going to keep fucking with you about it until you stop being Mary's friend. And Lisa Eight-Face Barlow is still going on. She's trying to get all of Meredith's business out there. Every insy bincy teeny bit of information she ever got from Meredith in confidence, or that she even thought of in the recesses of her mind, of her friend of 10 years who said in that hot mic. And now she gets to blame it on because she's friends with Mary. She took up for Mary. So I just told every secret that could possibly destroy you. I just told on national television to our, I don't even know what their viewership is these days, but I just told everybody on you, Meredith, because you take up for Mary M. Cosby. F you, Meredith. You effing S garbage whore. I effing hate her. And then she said she's a whore. She's effed half of New York. I'm telling you, Lisa went in. She said she can go F herself. This is also, she could pretend to be on a mic. Here, you can have your mic back. And then she comes out the room in only her bra and tosses the freaking mic back. And it looks like a smile on her face to me. And then look in the mirror, you guys. It's somebody in production was in there the whole time. So she knew she was mic'd. She knew she was mic'd. The whole time she was in the room, she knew she was mic'd and continued to talk. So that's my recap on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That was our Let's Chat on that part. Okay. Do you have any thoughts or comments about that? Okay. Well, okay. So now we're going to go right into okay, you guys. So now we just wrapped up the chat about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. If you are new here to LRGA Curves, I want to thank you for popping in, and I hope that you want to become part of this beautiful curvy community that we have growing over here. And if you haven't already, I hope you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button on your way in. All right. And hit the bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video, and share this video and all the other good things that you do here so that we can, grow our community over here. I really appreciate you. Oh, yay. Prosperity is still here. My girl be riding with me, and I love her so much. Okay. So let's see. What are we doing? Okay, so I have done a number of videos here on LRGA Curves about my opinion that in realizing my entertainment has been triggering me, I have done a series of videos on how I feel that Bravo's production often lends itself to a production of a stereotype or stereotrope of specifically Black lifestyles, right? So, like I always say, I breastfed my babies on freaking Bravo. So I have been watching for a very long time. I'm not just a noob to this. I'm not a noob in the Bravo game. It's been like from day one, season 1 of even the OC. Okay. Like I've watched every franchise pretty much. I stopped watching the most recent ones with the like Southern Charms and the this summer house thing. And I just started getting into Below Deck because I finally saw that they had some melanin in the cast, and I like the real estate shows, I like the fashion shows, and I like the housewife shows. And so I've been a supporter of Bravo for a very long time. I love Nene Leakes. I recognize that her participation in Bravo has helped solidify them as one of the iconic stations that we love to get entertainment from. And when Nene Leakes said in 2020 that she was experiencing a great deal of racism behind the scenes and that she had been for a long time, unbeknownst to us, the people that loved her. And when she voiced that, we didn't really know what to do with that information because we were like, well, you've been there for like 12 years. So if you've been there for 12 years and your negotiation just fell through, then why are you saying this now? Was kind of like the feeling of the day, right? However, what she was saying is always being revealed more and more if you're paying attention, now that she brought it up as something for you to pay attention to if you hadn't already. But I was already, as a viewer, noticing a production of like an angry Black woman, or of the promiscuous Black woman, or of the baby mama, baby daddy drama kind of thing within the Black community, or like highlighting the negativity and stuff, and or the like highlighting negative interactions and versions of Black on Black kind of dysfunction, right? What else? I've seen a lot of different things, right? She said Nene did it for the wrong reasons. How so the wrong reasons? I think that's what I'm saying. Like, we judged her reasons as wrong. And now that she finally said what she said and can't get a job, everybody's like, well, she should have known not to call her boss racist. So we can't have it both ways. That's not fair. That's not fair. Like, so Nene did it for the wrong reasons, but she did it for the exact right reasons. She did it when she was able, the negotiations fell through or whatever, and she needed to let people know. Now, we haven't found out everything that we could have from Nene still to this day, but I think that that's part of what I'm saying is overall, I've been highlighting the need to listen to Black women when they're saying something's happening, and to be willing to have a conversation with the parties involved to like try to get to an answer. Oh, wait. Prosperity said she was never fair. She did it for selfish reasons. Drop a link. There you go, babe. Because I feel like that's like a lot of judgment from us. You don't think that's a lot of judgment considering what's being brought out? So after Nene, they stole Mariah's show. After Nene, they made all the other ladies, they let other franchises get away with so much stuff that is racist, but simultaneously punish the Kenyas and stuff. So I don't think it was for selfish reasons. I think her not talking for so long could have been the selfish reasons, because she wanted to keep her job. But after she didn't have her job, she didn't have nothing to lose. So she told, but nobody wanted to listen because everybody thought she was doing it for selfish reasons. But it didn't have a payoff to me to be that selfish. Let me see. Prosperity Thick Girl 40 is dropping in the link. Oh, wait. Yes. How are you
What's up, lady?
Prosperity, how are you? I missed you in these YouTube streets.
Missed you too.
You're my family. You my YouTube family, girl.
I know. I missed you also.
How you been? Where you been at? How's things going? Where you been?
It's just been a lot. We talk about that on another time. And in the DM.
Oh, okay. So here, I'm still here. but I'm packing my bowl 420. And tell me what your thoughts. Hey, do you like this background music? It's a new feature. Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, everything new. I like it.
Awesome. Oh, so you my channel art. You like that too? Awesome. I'm so excited. I did everything my new channel art, and so I have a LRGACurves.com drop through. www.largercurves.com.
I know that's right.
And you can check me out on TikTok, Larger Curves, but that doesn't show my art. But like definitely my Teespring store has my art in there. So yeah, I'm really trying to like get that brand thing going. But I would love to hear your thoughts on how it could be wrong to talk about racism at any time, and if it was for selfish reasons, what was her benefit? Because I feel like she benefited more from not talking about it for so long. And when she finally talked about it, in my opinion, it was because she had nothing else to lose.
Exactly.
And because she hadn't talked about it for so long,
that's the only reason she did it.
It fell on deaf ears.
You were there for 12 years. It didn't just start last night or the day before you got cut. So, but you were okay with getting their racist check.
Well, she was the highest
Mariah bandwagon. Mariah had legitimate reasons for what she was doing, but you wanted us to rally around you because they fired you. And your arrogancy didn't allow you to think that Bravo is a whole machine and they can blackball you. You thought, I'm the Nefian Lee. Nothing's going to happen to me. I might not be on Bravo, but I'll be somewhere. And it didn't happen. That's the selfish.
Where am I? Right here. Okay, look what I have. Where are they? Oh! Hey, what's this? What's this? I don't know.
Those are so cute. Whoever did that is bomb.
Oh my God, look at my Coach from Prosperity Thick Girl 40. Wait,
yeah, the lady that did those know what she's doing.
Look how beautiful, you guys. You can get yours at Cups by
Thick Girl
on Instagram. And here's its sister, its Sestra.
Has hubby used his cup yet?
Yeah, this is right there on the nightstand. He uses it. He keeps his bracelets that he finished in the cup. It's stuffed. Here, I'm gonna show you. See?
Okay.
And he keeps it on the nightstand right there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what? So that was about Nene, and you said you don't watch Real Housewives. I just wanted to turn my camera on and show you that. I'm putting my freaking thingamajigget back up. I like my background.
Yeah, I don't watch that show. I couldn't deal with the fake phoniness from them clear people. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Those are the most airheaded people I have ever met and ever seen. Like, how did they even get cast?
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying though. Like, they should be thanking this Black woman for even having somebody so interesting at their willing to participate with their boring mediocrity.
Exactly, because 9 times out of 10, if you ask somebody, they're gonna say they was looking for Murray. And I'm not even a Murray fan, but yeah, she was the only reason that made me want to look.
Right? At first I didn't even watch the first season because I was like, that shit just sounds weird. That sounds like some weird grandpa cousin shit. I'm like, I can't. You know what I mean? But then when I started thinking about just the fact that it is Utah and there is polygamy in Utah, and they do have those men that be marrying their wives, daughters, cousins, niece. And and so people can get really close, and it wasn't a blood relation. But I was buying that whole story about the grandma wanted it to happen or willed it to happen. I was like, well, maybe if that's how they roll. But there's so many other religions and stuff that do that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, and the Mormons are one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, the Mormons are the real cult. They need to leave Mary and her church alone. Everybody knows the Mormons are a cult. Even Heather's freaking Aryan cousin ass knows, it has said the Mormons are a cult, but she's still over here poking with Mary.
I told you, them people were weird to me. I watched the first season and I was like, I said I was gonna watch because Jen got locked. I couldn't do it. I didn't even get past the whole first episode. I was like, I'm done. I didn't even get introduced to this lady or nothing.
Jen Shawshank, as DT would call her, is very she's colorful to me too. And I just don't understand how they always say that Mary Cosby is worse than Jen Shaw.
That's some bull crap.
She literally
Jen wants to be a black
beats people. Jen's the kind of person. Yeah, Jen gets on my nerves sometimes, but
my nerves all the time.
Yeah,
she got a big mouth. And you talking about aggressive,
right?
When is this lady not fussing with somebody in their face? I'm talking about all up in their face. If she was on a black, she would have been popped
face like
long time ago.
Right. Like the way people are okay with Candace getting popped is how Jen Shaw is going to get popped, and people will be okay with it.
Exactly. They better.
Yeah.
But
and I can say that as a person that didn't feel like Candace should have got popped. You know what I mean? Like, but I can see why people say it, but I don't agree with it. But I can see why.
I say she deserved to get popped, and I say Jen should have been popped.
Yeah, now Jen
way too much.
She gets and then how she gets in people's gets in their personal space.
That's what I'm saying. She all in her face with her fingers and her hands and her spit flying and
I'm like, bitch, it was still Rona. You're in these people's faces spitting a lot, lady.
Exactly. She wouldn't last. She want to be black so bad. She would not last around black people doing all that.
Yeah, she's like doing that and doing her hair like that and being loud and doing her head,
touching people.
She does the caricature of a black. Like
Candace wasn't that bad. Candace had some sense. Candace knew what to do and what not to do. Jen goes above and across the line. She stands on the line. She freaking fills the line. She's ridiculous. I don't see how they lasted with her that long. I'm sorry. It's no way.
I love Candace.
She done pushed people. Like, what?
When did she physically push somebody?
The first season. She pushed the girl out of her way. Trying to get to somebody else.
Candace
trying to get to Whitney.
Oh, on what show are you talking?
Salt Lake City.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about Candace.
No, I was saying Jen Candace wasn't as bad as Jen.
Yeah, Jen is
Candace knew what to do and what not to do. Jen doesn't see it. Jen just does everything that she shouldn't do.
Right. And doesn't get in any trouble for it either. There's not a repercussion for her at all. Everybody just always forgives and forgets Jen. But Mary can say, all she says is, I don't like you. She doesn't yell it. She doesn't get in your face. She didn't stand up and spit on your forehead. She didn't point in your eyeball. She didn't tower over you and yell across the room and try to embarrass you. She just says, I don't like you.
Yeah, that is just weird to me. I don't see how they allow it and they let her do it and they make excuses for her. No, she
Yeah.
couldn't be invited to nothing. Mm-mm. That's
And
a quick way to get hurt.
Meredith was saying. Meredith is the one that's Mary's only friend and ally. And she was saying also that they do that.
I know where.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of Bravo. Bravo needs to be held accountable too. I'm tired of them also.
Me too. The production that they're doing is harmful at this point because it's so on purpose and it's every show they get us in. I'm waiting to see what. First off, I'm gonna stop because, like I said, I breastfed my babies on Bravo, right? And I've watched all the different franchises, no matter melanin or not. But now I'm going to start being stingier because it's been so long. They've had enough time to find some diversity in the cities that they're going to franchises for. And if they're not willing to show me a variety of the diverse, wonderful housewives in the cities, then I'm not willing to share my diverse view. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when we make up their demographic of who watches their show, when the shows of people that look like us are their highest ratings.
Yeah.
This is why
they don't reward us. They don't reward us.
No. Go somewhere else. You can still watch your shows. Just go on YouTube and watch it. Go on the streaming platform. Go somewhere that they're not going to get their ratings that they want until they start giving us what we deserve.
There's a lot of different places to go for you to withhold your view, or you don't have to just don't watch it in real time. Watch it like the next season.
The playback.
Watch it the next season or whenever you want to watch that doesn't count in real time for that view. Yeah, So because that is a great way to show them that we mean business about what we want to see. I mean, how is it that we get rewarded? The demographic we're talking about, gets rewarded new programming, and the new programming is like Southern Charm and Southern Summer House and Vanderpump Rules, and but we just talked about what the demographic is, right?
Exactly.
So why is that the programming that is offered in between the shows that are the backbone of the channel? You know what I mean?
Because they don't feel like they have to give us that, because they know that regardless of whatever they do, we're still going to be there watching, rooting for them, watching, or they give us just enough to pacify us, and we forget about all the other stuff that has been done and said. That's why they do it, and they're going to continue to do it until we change it.
Did you see them try to, when they didn't say anything about the fired Jenny Wynn situation? That broke on the 19th of January. My birthday was on the 17th of January. And
they waited a whole week.
Huh?
They waited a whole week before they said anything.
That story broke the 19th. They didn't reply until the 24th. And when the stuff with Dallas happened, they replied within 48 hours. And when the stuff with Kenya happened, when she wore the Native American program, it was another within like 48 hour, we don't condone this type of thing. When Luann did blackface, silence.
And we still ain't got nothing against it.
When Lisa Rinna just did blackface at the freaking disco party at her birthday party, whatever it was, that was blackface. You know why? Because she was going as freaking Donna Summer, you guys. She was going as Donna Summer. So she was trying to be black, and that's why she tanned herself so much. That much bronzer is offensive. She was darker than Garcelle in those pictures, people. Garcelle,
if you keep getting rewarded for your bad behavior, why would you change?
Yes, exactly. Just like Ramona's just getting a long ass vacation. Ramona gets a long ass
she'll be back.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the only reason they fired Jenny Wynn, I'm going to go ahead and say it, is because she is also a minority. And it's a way of, like, they always deal with minorities quick and fast. But
No, they only fired her not because because we said something. She had already started filming for the next season.
Exactly. They were gonna let her keep on, and then they had to sacrifice her. They were willing to sacrifice her because she's a minority. But look, they have not done nothing about Ramona, and we've been squawking about Ramona's ass just as much. And they have not just come out and said they fired her ass. And they don't have to start filming to sell us that.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so they're still.
They want to have a conversation. What conversation do we need to have?
Use our trauma as entertainment, even for them. Like with the George Floyd thing and letting Portia use that for that storyline that time. I was offended as a Black person that they used the opening of George Floyd protests and our people being traumatized on top of being murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
And what made it worse was Portia was willing to allow them to do it.
Yes. I'm just, whatever. But still, they did it, and she did it, but I as a viewer did not appreciate seeing it. You know,
I got tired of seeing it.
I was triggered that time. That's a perfect example of when I say my entertainment is triggering me lately. That was like very triggering for me. Like, I'm like, la 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 la. Ooh, George Floyd summer is over. Ooh, let me get this.
Exactly. Every time we got over it, they put it in our face again.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, let me get my Merlot. I'm feeling good. Got my Irie. I'm nice. I'm right. I turn on the TV and it's like, no justice, no peace. I'm like, buzzkill. It's like, look, I got the sound effect for it. It's crazy.
Bravo, Paramount, NBC, all they like what Kanye West said about Bush. They do not care about Black people.
Right.
But we'll make excuses for them.
Yeah.
Because they gave a couple of us a job. Like, what?
Yeah. Oh, and so instead of say anything about fire Jenny Wynn after 42 individual Facebook posts were discovered, 42, you guys. After that many were discovered, they didn't say nothing. What they did finally post that had anything to do with anything melanin was the drop that Candy's show was going to get released. Now, in my personal opinion, I feel like that was a ruse
that was to pacify us.
To try to bait and dangle us, like give us some gristle instead of the steak of Jenny Wynn. They were giving us gristle of Candy and OLG.
Exactly. They know how to divert our attention. Yeah. They have mastered it.
And I'm not willing to accept that. Like, I'm not even interested in Candy's show, actually. Like, I watched Portia's show,
but I will be not watching it on Bravo.
Right. I watched Portia's show, some of them, not even all of them. I couldn't get through them. And I love Portia. And I condone her relationship with Simon and everything. But I could not get through her show. It was like so janky to me. I was like, this is so TV. Low budget. Oh my gosh. You know how sometimes you see a movie and the title will look good and the description looks hecka good on Netflix, and then you open it and it was shot with an iPhone. And
and the quality is so poor.
The quality is just so low budget. It's like they were in film school and borrowed the film equipment.
It looked like they were
from the film lab or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they get an A for effort, but the quality is just like trash comparatively, right? So, yeah, unfortunately, that was just ended up being a nice trip for her family. And friends that ended up getting shot, and I hope they were compensated for allowing themselves to be cast in that light.
Yeah, Portia was compensated. Now everybody, I don't know about everybody else how well they were compensated, but I know she was.
you think I wouldn't have done that for just a trip.
Child, them people was saying some things. The family. That's why they were beefing. That's why her and Lauren wasn't talking for a while. She put bad booze with them people.
Oh my goodness gracious. That's
Her
crazy.
scamming Simon.
Let me see. Was there anything else? Because I had these banners. So I asked, okay. So this episode is not going to age well with the way these Karens stood up for Fire Jenny or not. Do you think that, because like just now this week, these ladies all look so stupid. They all look like they support racism. And I was already calling them the Aryan cousins. And now it looks like they support racism even more because they're like, our friend Jenny is better than you, Mary. And we like her. And if you can't be around her, then we can't be around you. You know what I mean? You didn't see the show, but that's what happened. And then I was like, well, what can we learn from watching these ladies conspire on Mary and Meridith constantly? This is
that's why I said
this is the 18th episode, Prosperity. And of 18 episodes, at least 12. And I'm being nice because I think it was really every single one of them. But I'm giving them at least 12. At least 12 have shown these ladies, these white ladies, sit around and conspire on Mary and Cosby, the only black lady on the cast. I mean, and literally like sit around and be like, well, should we like either exclude her or not be around her or dig into her background, or like it's just always about freaking doing dirt on Mary's name, and it's like, but don't you have a whole life? Aren't you so happy with your husband and his pyramid scheme business, allegedly? Aren't you freaking happy with your beauty bar and all the injections that you put in your chin that give you such a strong jawline? And aren't you like so into your tequila that you don't really have time to like go looking for people to like try to get dirt on somebody who has more money than you? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. So that was what I was thinking about that. Okay, you guys, let's see. Now we are going to, let's go here. Okay, wait. Okay. So now we're going to go into the Below Deck finale. Because that's what's next on the agenda. Okay. So it starts with Eddie talking to Rayna some more about the whole N-word situation. Now, this is the last charter on Below Deck, and Eddie pulls Rayna to the side up on deck, and he's apologizing for what we find out is the third time, based off of the interview that Rayna just did. Rayna Lindsey, the black girl right here, she just did an interview with, here, let's pause this. Let's pause this. Let's see. Scroll down. There we go. Oh, what's good, Prosperity? Hello? Hello? Prosperity. Okay, okay. Let's do it again. Let's see. Hey, Prosperity, what's good? I don't know. Can we hear you? Ah, hello? I don't know. Can you guys hear me? I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Oh my goodness. Prosperity, what's good, girl? Oh well, let's see. Okay, so this is Rayna. Let's see. Let's go to here. So now, hi. Okay. So now we're going to start with my below deck chat. Okay. We are to the below deck chat. And oh, look, it's 1111 angel numbers. Yay. All right. All right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so beautiful. Let's see. What can we do for that? Oh, so wonderful. No way. One who cares is in the house? Really? One who cares? No way. One who cares is in the house? What's good, one who cares? How are you? I'm so glad you could pop in. I was just about to start. Oh, look, let me do this banner off. Where is it? Here. Okay. So, what I was about to talk about is below deck. Because I just got finished talking about chatting. I just got finished chatting about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And now I'm getting into below deck. So you came right in time. Yeah, below deck. All aboard. Okay. So, oh, I need some water. Okay. Okay. So let's let this below deck play. So this below deck is going to be really good. So I'm going to talk a little, and then at one point, we're going to get to the interview that Rayna Lindsey had with the people here on YouTube. The name is going to pop up. I'll mention it again then. And I subscribed to them and I followed them on Instagram. And it's people from that she knew, and she decided to give them the scoop on the going ons. Oh, sorry, Prosperity Thick Girl 40. I'm just seeing that you don't know what's going on. It says right there. I'm sorry. But so it was the last episode on Below Deck, right? And you don't know, I don't know if you know, but I've been doing a series here on the channel about my opinion that Bravo is somehow producing. I had a conspiracy theory, right? That Bravo is somehow producing stereotypes of angry Black women and of problematic like interactions with Black people so that, like, en masse, when it's viewed, people will have a pre-idea of like what to expect when dealing with specifically Black women. And it can be like, it can be harmful. So I noticed this a long time ago, and I was saying that, my freaking entertainment was triggering me lately, right? So because of that, I'm like, dude, but I didn't know for sure. It was just a feeling and an opinion as a viewer that I was coming to form based off of what I saw and hearing from, the people in real time about what their actual experience was, and always saying things like, oh, it was edited that way. Code word, that means that they put it together to make it look a way that it wasn't. So they produced a version of what happened in an exaggerated way, or highlighted things. Instead of highlighting positive things, they highlight negative things. So they highlight negative interactions. So they highlight when Nene and Kenya are yelling at each other, but they don't highlight when Kenya and Nene get along and are having a real sister girl moment. They highlight when, or no, they did highlight when Mary just gave Jen a hug in freaking Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But actually it was Jen that gave Mary the hug, and Mary accepted it graciously because she has such savoir-faire that she knows exactly what to say, how to say, and how to move in these crowds of sharks, in my opinion, that she's just so graceful with it that, of course, she half gave the girl a hug back because they had just had a great night the day before. She anyway. So they give you some, but they also highlight Mary saying things a certain way and allowing the women to harp on it and beat it out like a dead horse. So for us to have 18 episodes and Jenny Wynn was still talking about the apology she already got from Mary again for something else, but it's still apologies and Mary, so it's the same thing. Anyway, these are all just opinions and things that help me think that, oh, Bravo is complicit in like producing these images of like women, Black women specifically, being like difficult and aggressive and, I don't know. Anyway, like there's a certain narrative that goes along with the certain things on Bravo sphere, and people know what I'm talking about. Okay. But I say all that to say, Rayna Lindsey, who experienced it firsthand on Below Deck, this Rayna Lindsey right here, this is Rayna Lindsey. You should follow her Instagram, y'all, because she will let y'all know what was really going on in the real time over on the yacht, okay? The old yacht. Yes, it's dated and old, and that's what she said. Allegedly, in my opinion. So it's yeah, and like how the experience was horrible, and how she went to the Eddie Lucas guy, and Eddie didn't do nothing about it, and then came back and apologized 3 times, and that she doesn't have a problem specifically with the castmates, but does, but doesn't, but does, but mostly with production, because of everything they shot in that month, or however long it was that they were out. I think it was a whole month. Because she said something about she could have made that much money in 2 months. So was it 2 months or a month? Anyway, so she was able to she said there was so much fun. They had so much fun times on there. And like how they showed her and Jake making out. Remember handlebar mustache Jake? Remember they either showed her being really like make out with Jake all promiscuous style, or that he was yelling at her all the time. She said the yells were like the 3 yells that he did is what they showed y'all. But the whole rest of the time was like they were like totally friends, and her, Fraser, and this dude were totally best friends on the yacht, and they were all buddies, and her and Rachel were cool, and it was a lot of good times and interactions. So she also says some very interesting things that let me know that whatever dar it was, oh look, my necklace is twisted. Make a wish. Whatever dar it is that allowed me to know that Bravo is somehow complicit via production or allowing the production of certain things and narratives for Black, specifically castmates, is going to be proven with this little tape that we're going to hear. So let me walk us through this real fast, and then we'll go through. Now there's nothing to hear. Let's do this. Okay, so this is Eddie talking to Rayna about for the, I guess maybe the third time, for his lack of handling the nigger situation. Okay, now again, Heather, nigger word saying Chief Stew did in fact say nigger after Rayna said nigger. Now here, look, let me hear it. Okay. It says, let's blank this charter in the, okay, now let's go back. Okay, so Eddie doesn't handle anything. And the other time that Eddie didn't handle anything, when we first saw Rayna bring this to Eddie the night that it really annoyed her, and she was obviously in distress about it, and he did nothing about it then, seeing she was in distress about it. But at the end of her telling him all of that, Eddie Lucas told her that she needed to do some BS. So she comes and tells you the girl just said enter, and she's really upset and doesn't know how she's going to be able to handle this. And you tell her to suck it up. And by the way, you say the F word a lot or something. It was some crazy stuff. So like a way to blame her, but not address at all what I came to HR to talk to you about. Who, by the way, I've been talking about all this time that HR, whatever Bravo's division of HR is effed up anyway. And Nene already showed us that. Nene told us, y'all, because the Bravo HR with Nene made sure that she ended up on somebody's list, and they never talked to her, and they didn't address her grievances. To this day, they haven't addressed her grievances about the racial handling and in discrimination stuff that she faced over there. And we see that it's obvious because Bravo's racist slip is showing often. Hashtag boycott Bravo, by the way. Because they be treating the melanated goddesses effed up, in my opinion. So, but there's no reason for Bravo to condone Ramona Singer, hashtag fire Ramona. There was no reason that they didn't really vet freaking Jenny Wynn, but they took care of that swiftly. And excuse me. And they took care of that swiftly. I have theories on that. My theory is that while Jenny needed to be fired and everything, Part of the reason they did it so swiftly, and she didn't just get a hiatus the way that Ramona Singer is getting a hiatus over in New York, is because she also is a minority, and also because she's so new. Like, they need you to be a good 13 years on record, questionable racist slips showing like Ramona Singer to put you on hiatus. You can't come on your first season and have 42 questionably racist and sensitive posts and do that and have the backlash around how you were treating Mary, because it obviously matched the way that you was feeling in those posts, to a lot of people's opinion, including mine. So anyway, so Eddie didn't handle it. And even in this episode right here, again, Eddie is finding a way to blame Rayna. You guys, look at this crazy bullshit she had to go through. He's like, will you do me a favor? And if you really feel upset about anything in the future, let me know. She already let him know. And then he's all, let's F this charter in the mouth. That's a little sexual harassment at work. So this is Rayna's freaking Instagram, and she was saying that she was turning off her comments because she didn't feel like dealing with the Karens. Now I'm showing us this right here. This right here from this final episode is to show us the double standard. Because remember when Captain Lee made a point to say that, oh, I don't want to see nobody on their phones while they're supposed to be working. And this dude gets to be on his phone and having a cigarette. And he's in the same position that Wes was on the phone having a break that time too, that got him called up to the office. And that's some more double standard. Like, this dude gets a whole kickback break, you guys. And it's not his first one. He never got called to Captain Lee's office. He never got the message from Captain Lee that he better stop doing all that stuff. But he did get a kiss from Rayna Lindsey. Look, this is when Heather said, this nigga. See, so Rayna had left the bathroom and was talking about her dude Jake right here because they be making out. And she was like, this nigga be getting on my nerves. And then Heather right here was like, yeah, this nigga. And that was wrong for her to say. So then when Rayna called her out on it, she did white lady tears and was like, oh, I'm so hurt that Rayna said I said that. But now she's coming to Rayna and was like, oh, you're beautiful. Will you forgive me? I think you're beautiful. And I feel awful that I said something I shouldn't have said. I just feel awful about it all. And gave her a hug. But it was so she could feel better. It wasn't so Rayna could feel better. It was so her white guilt could be somehow appeased, because she didn't really like do anything. I don't know. It was just weird. It was just like, it wasn't, to some people it was enough, but to Rayna it wasn't enough, and it didn't have to be enough, is my point. Okay. You can't tell somebody black how mad to be that somebody uses that word around them on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and you can't even get off that ish, and that person has a superior position over you and nothing's being done about it. But you rolling your eyes gets the captain talking to you. You doing this gets Eddie talking to you. You doing this gets the captain giving another message to you. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, Heather gets to do whatever and say nigger all she wants around you because you said it first. They literally sent Rayna a letter. HR at Bravo, you guys, sent Rayna Lindsey a letter that said our investigation found that because you used the nigger word first, Heather gets to say nigger too. Case closed. You know what? I'm not saying that Heather should have been fired or anything. I'm not saying that Heather should have been canceled or anything. But there should have been something happening to her, especially because we find out that they were offering mental health services to other people affected by the situation, but not to Rayna, who was affected most by the situation, who they told numerous times to get over it and get back to work, who they then used and produced in a certain light to have her come off in a negative way. Bravo did that. And it was supposed to be for my entertainment. It's not. It wasn't entertaining. Not at all. To see that treatment. I couldn't even really enjoy the freaking charters that much because I was like, what are these ladies how are they gonna torture Rayna this time? So anyway, after the last charter leaves, the all crew goes out the last night on the boat, right? So they go out to eat, and then on their way back after a number of drinks, they're getting in the car, and Heather and Rayna are having a back and forth, and the back and forth is all about because Heather is like, Rayna, if you have something to say, then say it. I don't know why she has such an attitude with me. And she's been walking around the boat saying this to everybody who would listen except for Rayna all this time anyway. So she's been having all that energy on her anyway. Like, you have attitude with me, so I really have attitude with you. But I'm going to pretend like I don't have attitude with you and that you need to calm down because you know how we can do that. But listen, Rayna's telling you, Heather, she's trying to tell you, you want to talk about it? Fine. Let's talk about it. Listen, I don't like white people who say nigger. I don't like it. Listen, I don't like white people who say nigger. Listen, I don't like white people who say nigger. Hey. And so then Heather's reply to that is to do what, you guys? To do what? What came after that? She said, that's why I don't respect you. And that's just how I feel. That's what Rayna told Heather. I just don't respect you. That's how I feel. And then Heather's like, but you told me everything was okay. You told me everything was okay when I apologized to me. I mean, for me. I mean, for you to you. Remember when I apologized? She's like, yeah. She's like, well, I told you then, and you didn't want to talk about it ever again. And, you know, trying to make Black people talk about their trauma with somebody when they don't even have support from the person that's over both of them that could have supported them in real time, and it didn't happen. I don't know. So then Heather's all, well, I was drunk. That's the only reason I said nigger. And freaking Rayna's like, that's not an excuse. So then Heather gets on her knees, you guys, in an attempt to coerce. Look, she got on her knees, you guys, in an attempt to be like, Rayna, I'm on my knees asking for forgiveness. And Rayna told that girl, well, sit on your knees because there's no forgiveness here. Well, sit on your knees because there's no forgiveness here. Well, sit on your knees because there's no forgiveness here. Sit on your knees because there's no forgiveness here. There's none. Oh my gosh. So, although Frazier and her have made out Frasier and Rayna have made out before. And Frasier and Jake, who's also made out with Rayna, have made out before. They had like a 3-way kiss. It was really kind of sexy and everything. But, you gotta like that. So while they have been making out with Rayna this entire time, it's very interesting, not to me, they're really, because you're always Black wherever you go. And so you can have people with you, but when it comes down to it, you alone. Because she's sitting there saying how hurt she was over the whole N-word situation and how it's been hard for her to be working around Heather this whole time. And that, she doesn't want to have to talk to the chief stew about stuff. And why is the chief stew yelling at her like this and causing a scene? And that's always what's going on. So, of course, Heather's response to this is she's going to insta cry. Insta tears. Yeah, because she got called on the carpet about her N-word and her fake apology. And then she gets called on the carpet about causing a scene and being all extra mean and being extra and yelling at her and trying to embarrass her, but she's really embarrassing herself. So then all of a sudden, Heather's like, well, I've asked you to apologize. And she's like, apologize for what? You can, what? But maybe you aren't woman enough, is what Heather said to freaking Rayna. And then freaking, Rayna's like, why would I apologize? Anyway, it got really weird to the point where Eddie, see, now they're off. So usually when they're off, unless it has to do with the Black person, when they're off, everything's off and everybody stays out of everybody's business. So because Heather's out there talking nonsense, yelling and getting called on the carpet about yelling and being very unprofessional, and this is like not the rank thing to do. So Eddie finally gets his drunk ass out the car and he comes and holds Rayna back, approaches Rayna. Heather Nager was the one that was yelling in Rayna's face. She's also a chief stew, so she's over Rayna in position. She was the one being aggressive with Rayna. Eddie goes up to Rayna and tells Rayna to stop. You guys, Eddie went up to Rayna and told Rayna to stop when it was clearly Heather who's the one being the aggressor. And even Rayna's like, dude, you're really coming up to me? She was just yelling in my face. I didn't even yell back. It's you coming up to me? And he was like, yeah. So mind you, like I said earlier, now Jake and freaking Frasier been kissing on Rayna this whole time. But who do they console in this moment right here? Heather. Heather got all the consoling, all the attention, all of the, oh, poor babies, all of the arms around her, all of the understanding, all of that. Mean Rayna won't forgive you. You tried so hard after you said nigger around her. You tried so hard, Heather. And that mean she won't forgive you. She just won't let it go. They always want to hold So then she has to start crying some more. What? White lady tears. Insta tears. On command tears. Oh, I'm faced with the emotions of another human, and it happens to be a melanated person. What can I do? Oh, I'm so scared. I'm gonna cry. That way, I immediately become the victim and I deflect the entire situation, and everybody will give me more attention and leave her further away, further alienating her and showing her that no matter what, in any situation, I'll always have what she'll never have, which is, I don't even know what, protection. I don't know. Get to say anything. I don't know. Get to act any kind of way? I don't know. Get to do any kind of thing? I don't know. That's what it seems like. But it's late. Yes, Becky tears. Exactly one who cares. Becky tears. She hit us with the 1-2. Becky tears. First, the shrill, shrieking questions, and then the I could give classes. I've been paying that much attention. Ah! 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 I'm horrible. I'm sorry. That was horrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But then, after Rayna doesn't get any support or anything, she gets in the car, and Wes, the only other Black person on the whole thing this entire season, tells Rayna that she needs to let it go. Look, he says, he's like, you need to let it go. And he said some more shit to Rayna to the point where what they showed us, Rayna said, is shut up. You're fucking Black. You need to understand. You're the only other Black person here. And you telling me to let it go? What are you of? If any fucking person should fucking understand, it should be your stupid ass, Wes. We the only two Black people here. You just understood on deck. Because they talked about it before. Excuse me. They talked about it before on deck, and Wes was like, oh my God, she said nigger around you? Really? Oh, that's horrible. But now he's like, oh, he's the Sambo on tiptoes, right? He's too much. So everybody is against Rayna. The only Black person on there is Rayna at this point, because Wes, then when he interjects this BS and nonsense after he doesn't support Rayna at all, and then claims that his support was support, then she says, you know what? I just can't even deal with you right now with your stupid white ass. She called Wes a stupid white ass. She said, because that's what you're acting like right now. You white just like these motherfuckers' ass. That's what she said. Now, you guys, Wes ended up getting his draws in a bunch because he was like, you really hurt my feelings saying that. I'm Black. Calling me not Black is like painful. But her using the N-word around Rayna and that painting her doesn't matter. And she needs to get over that though, Wes. So now you see how Bravo just created kind of like a Black on Black. Oh, you're not Black. Oh, you're Black. Oh, you're white. Oh, look, they're racist. Oh, la, la, la. Look at that dysfunction. within that. Look at this. Oh, look. Oh, look. Uh. So Bravo did that. And it could have stayed on because she said some other stuff even still happened within this scene. And it could have stayed on the Eddie thing. It could have stayed on the Heather thing, but they ended up taking a lot of the time. They did a couple of minutes on this whole Wes and Rayna interaction. And then all of a sudden, Rachel acts like freaking Rayna's handler. And I love Rachel and everything, but she was acting like a handler in the moment. She's like, oh, I can calm Rayna down. I'll go. And so Rayna's crying. Nobody's consoling her. She's the Black woman crying by herself. She just got off the yacht full of freaking Beckys and Karens and freaking whatevers and making out with guys who, instead of help her in her moment of need, are running after like the girl that pained her and just literally by herself, like literally by herself. But Wes gets to act like his feelings are butthurt and everything. Here's the interview, you guys. Let's turn this up.
Oh, I just have my days. Everyone in my family light skin. Like,
it's weird.
Let's not sit here and like play like, oh, now she's a. You
so
know what I mean?
she had an
that's what they're
interview
gonna try to
with
sit here and do after they
Say
see
No Mo
the season
podcast
finale. You
here
know, that
on
colorist bullshit or whatever the hell they want to do.
I
But
wonder
let's
how
see
they
the-
gonna edit it. I wonder how.
I saw it before, and like I don't know if they're gonna change some of what I saw, but it was super out of pocket. Like they really focusing on me and Wes when at the end of the day, like you can't put stuff like putting focusing on these things when like this is not the audience where they understand. It's just delusional. You know what I mean?
Fact, yeah.
They don't know it, and
but
that's
who
why
cares?
Lawrence Sims, you dead ass wrong.
They
Like
might be
you
racist
dead
in the
ass
comments.
wrong.
I already know they is.
The executive producer.
I'm ready for it.
The executive producer is Lauren Sims. She's dead ass wrong because there's so many other things that could have been put on the show, but instead she want to focus on like Lauren.
Did you guys hear that? She straight called out a producer by name from Bravo. That's how done she is. So, but you were saying one who cares about how she needs to leave. They don't respect her. Yeah, she knows that. And she just dropped the name. Laura Sims is the main person over there in the freaking Bravo streets who is complicit in producing a negative narrative about her specifically.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
They don't know it, and that's why Lauren Sims, you dead ass wrong.
They
Like
might be
you
racist
dead
in the
ass
comments.
wrong.
I already know they is.
The executive producer.
I'm ready for it.
The executive producer is Lauren Sims. She's dead ass wrong because there's so many other things that could have been put on the show, but instead she want to focus on like Lauren Sims. Only negative that happens. You know what I mean? When in regards to me, mind you, why is Wes's only talking part in the season at the end of the show, at the last episode, talking to me? Because y'all don't even focus nothing on Wes.
Nigga didn't talk at all.
I mean, he did, but I'm trying to get at like they don't show his life. Like he's not very much in the show, you know. And that's like they focus like so much on me, and I understand that there's some people on the show that they pretty much kicked off. Like there's people on the show that they can't be on the show anymore.
Why?
Because some people just like aren't mentally like. They don't feel like are mentally stable for the show. So that's why I said earlier, like I got a call and them.
Okay, now about this whole mentally stable piece. Allegedly, one of the castmates didn't show up to the reunion because of mental reasons. They didn't think they could handle going through it again or something like that. So we'll have to see the reunion in a way that doesn't allow them to get our view, obviously, and check in and see who's missing so that we can put 2 and 8 together and perhaps find out who might have the alleged mental issues. At least that's what I'm thinking is a good way to try to figure it out. Let's continue with Rayna Lindsey's interview on the Say No Mo podcast 2020 here on YouTube. Shout out.
Saying that they had to like switch some things around because some people just weren't clear to
What was going? Yeah.
They didn't want this show to be the pushing edge to some people on the show. But so they offered people therapy, everything. Did they offer me anything? Shout out therapy, right? But did they offer me anything though? Nothing. And listen to this. So one of the castmates, they offered them therapy, like everything. And not only every time they had an episode, they called me.
Okay. Speaking of therapy, where I had it somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. Nene Leakes warned us that Bravo had racist tendencies. And remember, she had brought up a therapy issue also. Remember, she had brought up a therapy issue also, and she needed therapy. She thought she needed therapy for something. And then Candace Dillard Bassett, she needed therapy. And so to find out that Nene asked for it, and remember, I think part of it allegedly was that she didn't get what she asked for in the ways of certain things. And I believe that this was one of them. But no, they offer it after all, do they? They offer it after all, do they? Huh. Well, what does it take to get that around here? And who do you have to be? But do you have to to get a freaking therapy?
Oh, we're gonna go fly you outside the country to go make sure this person's okay. But what about me? When y'all throwing me under the they literally wanted me to go help with other cast members and make sure they're good, but they didn't even once check up on me, asking if I wanted a therapist. But the whole time they were like throwing me under the bus and not even like placing anything about the show on this person, on that person. You know what I mean? Like that's not right. Like
that's foul.
That's not right. Like like I said before, I'm not a victim of this show, but like I want to sit here and be very apparent about what is going on and what was happening and what is going on to this day. You know?
No, that makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah, like, because she's a black girl, she's strong, she gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Like, they, not once was it a consideration of, like, you know what I mean? Every resource was thrown at this other person, but, like, for me, it was just kind of like, we're gonna use her to,
That's
like,
so
try to help her. So we can use her probably for the show. And, no, Rayna will be fine. She don't need no therapist or nothing. Obviously, thank God I have a therapist on my own, you know? But they don't know that.
Right.
They don't know, you know what I mean? They not throwing no resources. The only thing they throwing me is like nonsense. Sending me to HR and stuff for HR to tell me, well, it was ruled that because you said it, it was okay for her to say it. That's what HR called and told me. That was the ruling of it. Because you said nigga, because you said nigga, it was like there's nothing we can do about it.
That's not right.
That's what HR called and told me. I said, what?
No, you're funny as fuck, bro. I'll never forget when you posted that. That shit was the funniest shit.
Are you serious?
That shit was the. They actually typed that shit up. They sent this nigga a letter. That letter had me rolling.
Yeah, see, that's the out of pocket shit I be talking about.
Hey, what that shit say again?
It says because I insinuated an aggressive racial slur.
That's insanity.
I'm like,
What'd you say? You just walk in like, what's up, nigga?
No, he was micromanaging and shit.
All right.
And I was just pissed off that day. I'm like, nigga.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh god. Oh, nigga, leave me alone.
For real.
He said, I ain't no nigga. I'm like, nigga.
No,
Nigga.
yeah.
Tells the manager, I'm like,
He's one of those.
bro, old as hell too.
Oh yeah,
That's
wild.
why.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's literally
That's
wild.
why. They're
Snitch
older.
ass.
Like, they don't, you know what I mean? Like, and the people don't understand, like, oh, if nigga is so, like, in my comments, they're always saying, like, if nigga is so bad, then why do you say it? Like, okay, like, so
It's like
this is the stupidest shit.
so
This is the
old.
dumb shit I be talking about. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want any affiliation with this because, like,
You know they're gonna be in
the
the comments,
stupidity. I know they are. And listen.
I'm ready.
Listen. Oh,
They
listen.
coming for me.
Listen, you know what I mean?
Stab
Like, they don't
black
realize that we was getting called niggers. And we took the word and made it into something positive. And that's why it's our word, okay? And why you don't need to be saying it, period. Every culture has their saying that nobody overstepping boundaries. It just gotta, you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't have to be.
Why every culture want to say nigga? That's what I'll be asking myself. I know why.
I know why.
But like, why do y'all actually want to say it?
They want to say it, but they want to
I
say
know
it.
why it
do
sounds
everything that we
cool.
do.
It's in the rap songs. It sounds cool again, you know. But why do you really want to?
They don't want to be no nigga though.
I know y'all niggas say it in your car. I'm not.
They don't
Come on,
want
bro.
me-
White people that love rap music, I know y'all say it. Yeah, they get in groups. They probably like, oh, we all good here.
That's what my thing was
They
with
look
Heather,
around?
though. That was my whole thing with Heather, because she was too comfortable saying it. Like, I ain't never seen no white person
wasn't her
just
first
like,
time- it wasn't her
usually,
first time saying
it
it?
was not her first time saying it. She says it all the time at home, and that's very apparent. Because what white person is around a black person is just like, yeah, nigga. Like, who the fuck says it, like, with confidence? You know what I mean?
It's like the Dave Chappelle shit. He was
Yes,
when he was like, what the nigga say? I don't know if he says nigga a lot. Well, trust me, as a nigga that says nigga a lot, that nigga says nigga all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just what that is. Like, so that's what people need to realize. Like,
No, that shit's real, man. It seems like it's like a real pro and con when it comes to.
So that was the interview between Rayna Lindsey and the Say Yo No Mo podcast 2020. And you heard what she confirmed was my conspiracy that Bravo's production is complicit in negative stereotypes of these people, specifically the Black people. You guys, my freaking point was proven by Rayna Lindsey herself. She said she's done with the show. She said she went to the freaking reunion and it was only an hour long and boring. She said that she said a lot of stuff. You should go check out the full freaking interview. It's very insightful, very telling. It lets you in on a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I was fascinated, loved every second of it. And, you know, it just proved what I saw as a viewer, which was she was being treated a certain kind of way that had no like fairness about it. Let's just put it that way. Let's be nice and put it that way. Since nobody wants to be called a racist when they're racist, when they acting racist. Nobody wants that. So let's say they wasn't being fair to the only Black person on there. Let's say that instead. Or I don't know. However, I don't know how another way to say it. I don't know. It's not everything is about race. I'm not saying that. But they are treating behind the scenes. We found out that there's a setup to produce certain people a certain way. And we just got confirmation, you guys, from Rayna Lindsey herself. Her experience confirmed my opinion, and it's all just opinions and commentary. And I appreciate these people sharing their life, just like I appreciate the women of Salt Lake City sharing their lives with us, regardless of their mediocrity and conniving ways and quirkiness. And, you know, I've really enjoyed the entertainment that I can get out of it when I'm not being triggered by the part of it that's triggering me. They just need to stop and get back to freaking entertaining me. Stop having all these freaking weird Ramona and Jenny and freaking, what's that, Brandy situations. And yeah, let the people know not to describe anybody as a Mexican thug that sells drugs. And yeah, okay, yeah, and let them know not to call the people to compliment them by saying that they look like Asian anime characters. Okay, yeah, let's do all of that. Ahead of time so that we can just watch it and be amused and entertained by lifestyle and fashion and reads and friendship the way that we used to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would like. And that's not the only thing I like, Bravo. # boycott Bravo. But also I would love if Bravo would have an open discussion with not only Nene, yeah, and the Shawshank the Crook, right? Jen Shawshank the Crook. She gets like more respect than freaking Nene. Like, really? Like, so I would like if Bravo, in an effort to show that they are willing to be open to adjusting their racist slip, in my opinion, I think that they should have an open discussion with Nene Leakes and let Nene Leakes say what she need to say in a with whatever she's comfortable saying in a semi-public forum or whatever she's comfortable doing, and like have a panel with all the melanated people that they've wronged. Let Mariah Huck get up there and tell them about theyself. Let Rayna get up there and tell them about theyself. Even Mary M. Cosby has mentioned the editing of her before. How about that? How about you let these people call you on the carpet and tell you how they feel about it and see if how they feel about it matches what we see as viewers. Let's see. One Who Cares says she lies, steals, etc., and continues to gaslight. She is crazy. Yes. Look, that was this other reel. Let's see. Yeah. And then not only does she do that, but she was like totally conspiring in the beginning on, yeah, the whole gaslighting. She's like, yeah, 16 letters of the alphabet came for me, but Mary. They are so crazy with it. They are so crazy with it, you guys. Okay, the last thing, so that was the end of that. Below deck synapsis. Remove this. And now, let me see. They try to give the best, in my opinion, girls trip. They try to give the best. Girls trip. Yeah, they try to do good girls trips. They do. Did you like the trip to Zion specifically? I loved Mary this time. Like, I thought she was really girly and personable and open, but they were just like anything she did, they were just waiting for her to breathe. So that was kind of a downer for me to see as a viewer. But I thought she was like as participatory as we've seen her be. Like, you know what I mean? And I liked it. Let's see. This last thing I wanted to see, because we know Mary did not show up. Mary M. Cosby did not show up to the reunion. And Jenny Wynn has been fired. And Mary Cosby does not post often on her social medias, but she does like stuff on freaking Twitter. So let's look at what Mary Cosby has been liking while the show was playing on Sunday. So she liked Heather has the worst spirit of everybody in the cast. Wait, let me go back. Okay. So first thing she liked was Whitney has bad judgment from all that time upside down on the pole. She liked Meredith Mark's statement. For those of you who have kindly expressed your condolences for my loss, thank you. She liked that comment. See, because I have it on likes right there. You can't see it, but she liked this comment. Heather is the worst spirit of everyone. I agree with that. She liked this comment. Jenny is not the only one displaying anti-Blackness on this cast, especially right now. She liked this comment. LOL, so Jen gets to be triggered and walk away to unpack her feelings while being aggressive, but Mary being calm and disengaging is a problem? LOL. I feel these girls share Jenny's views. She liked that comment. She liked this comment. I hear my perspective is that you think Bravo TV and Shed Media shouldn't edit a thing. The viewers should get to see exactly what was done to Mary M. Cosby and should feel uncomfortable. It's the only way the network will learn to do better. Hashtag RHSLC. She liked that comment. If they don't edit Jenny out, Jenny throwing the glass at Mary out. I don't know. I'm still like, here it is. Instead of letting them speak out, the girls' vacation. Exactly. Exactly. Look, she liked this comment. Where'd it go? Plan. She said, congrats to somebody. This is all just from January 30th, Sunday, you guys. I don't know why I paused there so long. Oh, gorgeous. This should have been Meredith's reunion look. She liked that comment, you guys. It said, we need Miriam Cosby. She's the only housewife to describe Tom Girardi's rollover accident in the way that finally understood. Jen hosts Cinco de Mayo celebration where Jenny finds herself at odds with Mary yet again, and Meredith defends Mary. A distraught Lisa goes off. Why are these girls making you run? Whatever they're saying, face it. The Marge's home renovation, she liked that one. She liked Meredith's picture right here. Meredith looked good there. I don't know. I thought she had something done, but I don't know. It could be makeup and contour. Who knows? So she liked a couple more things, but then it starts going beyond the 30th. She's all, why do 59 of my mutuals still follow Jenny Wynn?
It's getting weird. It's getting weird.
Oh, I'm tired, you guys. That's it. That's it tonight on LRGA Curves. I came on at 10. I don't know what I was thinking, but I wanted to get something done by the midweek, have a chat with you guys. I totally appreciate you guys who stayed up with me. This has been fan-freaking-tastic, you guys. Fan-freaking-tastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you, one who cares. Thank you. Thank you so much. Prosperity Thick Girl 40. Appreciate you guys for dropping in tonight for my late night chat about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Below Deck, about the setup and behind the scenes. And leave a comment down below in the replay crew. How do you feel about any of this, if anything? Did you think that there was something going on? And did Rayna's audio of her wonderful in-depth interview, which you should go check out, the complete interview, definitely. I'll put a description in the I'll put a link, or I'll put the thingy in the description, however it goes. And yeah, leave a comment in the replay crew. Make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and hit the bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video, y'all. And I'll see you in the next one.